My name is Brian E. Williamson, and I am running against Mike Kelly of PA in this race. Now, there is a different person running by the name of Justin Wagner who's actually gone out and gotten lists of voters to get him on the ballot. You might want to look into him. But on the subject that I want to talk about right now, maybe you recognize the man in this, image, or maybe not. The camera's not doing very well here. Yeah. Here, this guy is Markwayne Mullin. He's just been confirmed to the DHS position after he was grilled by Rand Paul here. By the way, I'm a little angry at Rand Paul here, not because of what he did when questioning Markwayne Mullin, but the fact that, as I'll show you in a moment, he did not vote against this guy to confirm, even though he's literally talking about how Markwayne Mullin here supports dueling in Congress and caning. Yeah, Rand Paul here, he makes a important note that we don't need literal fights and gun dueling breaking out in Congress. So, yeah, when you look at the likes of this here, which was a literal vote to confirm him, you might want to take a look at the guys down here. The not vote part, Rand Paul, even though he brings up an important thing to note under literal presidency where Donald Trump has indeed threatened Congress, you'd think he'd vote against him, but no, Rand Paul, like it shows in the roll call vote, said, I'm not going to vote at all, and he allowed this guy to be confirmed along with 8 other Democrats who decided to abstain. This is incredibly dangerous to have when you know that Donald Trump's threatening to jail Congress members, has threatened violence against Congress. We shouldn't be basically allowing someone to be in head of ICE, which is literally the most well-funded and powerful policing agency in the planet. I think Trump's going to make the move now that he's got Markwayne Mullin to just simply dissolve Congress. The first time that this guy over here gets called to Congress, now that he's holding a position, I'm willing to bet that he's going to call 100 of his buddies and just sweep Congress of anyone he doesn't like. This guy has in the past has encouraged violence, which is what pissed off Rand Paul here, is this guy was insensitive about the fact that he was attacked in Congress. But yeah, he's also the same guy who was said to have body slammed a journalist because he asked a question he didn't like. This is completely unacceptable. But it isn't the only time that I've heard someone make something like this, which is why I brought up Justin Wagner a little bit, and I probably don't think he knows anything about Chuck Norris and his Christian nationalist views or anything, but I also remembered something about Chuck Norris making something tongue-in-cheek, which really, the tongue-in-cheek stuff is disturbing nowadays because of people like Markwayne Mullin, but do you really think I want to have someone like this encouraging anything?
Ron Paul, I think right now, I don't know if you're Ron Paul supporters or not.
Woo!
But Ron Paul is out there trying to make a difference. And I said to Gina, oh, you're one of me talking about. I said, honey, if I had one wish, if someone said, you can have one wish of anything you want, I said, okay, I want to go to Washington. I want to line up in Congress. And I want to have Ron Paul, because I know he's honest. And I'm going to say, Ron, as we go down the aisle, you point the ones who are corrupted politicians. And so we walk down the aisle. Here's all the politicians lined up down here. We walk down. He points. He says he's corrupted. I grab him and I choke him unconscious. Drag him over, drag him out of the way, and then the next one I choke him out right on that line, and I keep sticking him in the choke pile.
In the choke pile.
Pile him up, and then the ones that are honest, they stay, and they focus on getting us back on our feet.
Folks, this is an old video, and we know the trope about not speaking ill of the dead. But like Charlie Kirk, if you're a bastard, or like Henry Kissinger, if you're a warmonger, speaking of the dead is just pointing out the facts and truth. This guy has assaulted people, and now he's in charge of DHS. We shouldn't allow someone who's going to be in a position to be forced. Well, he's in that position now because of people like Ron Paul, because of Republicans. Yeah, you have the roll call vote on this guy. This is literally the roll call vote you are looking for. It was to advance Markwayne Mullin to be part of the Department of Homeland Security. He was confirmed to potentially assault members of Congress and to defend the Trump administration. And we shouldn't be giving Trump any more power than he already has. And I will talk ill of the dead when it comes to someone who has basically said, yeah, I would want my one wish would be to help my politician choke out people. That's not how we should be doing things in Congress. Like Rand Paul himself had put it when he was questioning Mullin, even though he didn't vote against him, dueling and caning have been illegal for 170 years. Why are we considering putting anyone in Congress who's not going to put a stop to ICE and its potential overthrow of our government for a dictatorial king?